what to call this video because it's a bunch of random clips kind of stitched together. I did some client check-ins, so if you're curious on how we do that, what it looks like, what we talk about, I'm actually gonna clip in a pretty long video of that if you wanna listen. A little bit of a try-on haul from Aerie, super random, I know, but I bought some clothes, so I thought why not show you. And then I did a whole spiel on my take on hybrid training, why it's kind of misleading and what you should do for yourself, depending on what your goals are. So if you wanna listen to that, listen to the video, but I wanted to do a little bit of an intro because I forgot to intro this video and kind of just talk about where I'm at with my training. So right now, today I'm going to hit lower. Obviously you guys have heard I'm doing a lot more athletic based training, just kind of working on my mobility, working on my explosiveness, my jumping abilities, which has been really awesome for my knees. At first it was a big struggle because I was suffering with some injury, but we've got me into doing knee rehab about 3 times per week, and that's been incredible. I feel so much better, and that's a huge relief for me because over the last 2 years I've struggled with a lot of knee injury. I don't even know what it is, but I think it's runner's knee, which is funny because I don't run. There's times where I was off of squat-based or like quad-based training for months at a time. And again, it was really frustrating. So being an athlete my entire life, I was kind of always just like really athletic and I could move my body, not really have any issues. But now that I'm out of that and I'm into weight training for so many years, it's becoming really important for me to take care of my body, be more mobile, make sure I'm doing the correct things to keep my body in good condition, not just weightlifting. So yeah, that's something I've been doing more of. And with the knee rehab, I can move much easier. I'm way more mobile in my knees. When I bend them, they don't hurt. I can squat down without pain. I can jump off of things without pain. So like it feels really good. I'm feeling bouncier. That's nice to feel, you know, after feeling really kind of heavy in my joints for years. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I'm going to go and do a lower body session knee rehab tonight. And again, you're going to hear me saying a lot of that because I'm doing it like 3 times per week right now. But I didn't get a lot of carbs in, and it's 3 o'clock. And I train in about an hour, and all of my meals today have been like low carb. So I'm gonna get a heavy carb meal in, or at least some sort of a good size snack before I go into this leg day, because I also have cardio before my leg day, which is like very high intensity sprints on the assault bike. And if I don't have carbs in my system for that, I absolutely crash. So I'm gonna show you guys that. I won't show you the workout because I am training at my local gym and I don't think they love cameras in there, but I will show you my pre-workout meal and then we'll get to the rest of the video. So I'm just doing 35 grams cooked oats, a little bit of peanut butter and maple syrup, some cinnamon on top, 34 grams of carbs, 7 grams of fat, 9 grams of protein. So not bad. Obviously there's no real good sources of protein in this meal. I'm just using it for carbs and a little bit of fats, just to kind of have that snack more slower releasing throughout my workout. And this is one thing that, like, if you are someone who has been working out for a while and you have everything dialed in as far as like your protein, your calories, that kind of thing, this is where you want to start looking more closely towards your peri-workout nutrition, which is going to be your pre-workout and your post-workout nutrition. It is pretty important, okay? If you are trying to train for a certain outcome, which usually is muscle growth, why wouldn't you do everything that you can to support the performance of that workout? The better the performance of the workout, obviously the better the outcome that you're gonna get, the better results that you're gonna get. So with that said, carbs before training, super important. Don't have too much fats. If it's close to, you know, within an hour of your training, probably not a whole lot of fats, maybe on the lower end, because fats do slow down your digestion. And if your digestion is slower, you're gonna be using those carbs a little bit later than when you would like, right? If you're training soon, you want those carbs available right away. So carbs are the most important thing, lower fat. Now, if you're having a whole meal, like over an hour out from a workout, that can be pretty well balanced. You know, high carb, high protein, decent amount of fat, but not too much. And then obviously post-workout, you really want to prioritize the protein. You know, protein synthesis is what is going to produce muscle growth. And so if you can support that, then great. Your body wants to recover. Your muscles want to recover after a workout. Now, do I think that you have to take a protein shake post-workout? Absolutely not. I used to be the person that thought that you did. You don't. Okay, I eat all whole food protein. It took me a while to get there. I used to be that person who always ate protein baked goods, protein powders every single day. I eat all my proteins whole food now. Post-workout, have any fucking source of protein. It doesn't matter. Obviously, a good quality one is ideal. You know, something like chicken, beef, bison, fish, right? All of those like whole foods, the meat sources are going to be better for you. And then you can pair that with a good quality carb and some fats. And that's really it, right? Not overcomplicating it, but a lot of people miss out on the window of time that is ideal to consume meals around your training. I don't think that there's an ideal post-workout window where you have to slam a protein shake, but I do believe that, before your training session, there's a certain window of time from before when you eat your first meal to when you train to when you eat your last meal that needs to be, I think it's a 5-hour window. So like, let's say you ate in like hour 1 on the scale, and then you're working out in 2 hours from now. That meal is gonna have to be pretty big. Let's say you take an hour to work out, so that's 3 hours. You have, another maybe 3 hours past that to get in your next meal. So if you can keep it within that window, you're gonna be supporting your recovery a lot more, and you're gonna be supporting performance in the gym a lot more as well.
It looks like the last 3 weeks have been super consistent for you, which is nice. I think that the first 6 weeks of anything is gonna be new, it's gonna be exciting, and you're gonna be building up this consistency because you have this new structure in your life. And when the difficulties come down the line, that's where we're gonna start really building that real skill. But I'm happy to see how consistent you're being in this season right now, because it just proves that you have the drive, you have what it takes, and you just needed that little bit of structure and those systems to come into place to be able to take you to that next level. So really excited for that. We're on the road to be somewhat quickly fixing your gut health. And the reason I say quickly is because it's actually a lot more simple than what we make it out to be. It's subtle shifts that we make that are going to improve this. I do have a fair amount of experience personally with this kind of thing. I used to really struggle with my hormones. I still am recovering with my hormones, and that has a direct reflection of gut health, right? What we're taking in our body. Gut health is a reflection of the foods that we eat, plain and simple, right? What we put in our body builds from, it creates from. And so if the things that we're putting in our body aren't necessarily supportive of a healthy gut, then of course we're going to struggle with gut health. I think we both know that. So oftentimes what we look to do in situations where we're struggling with something, we want to find a fix, right? We want to find a cure. We want to find that special thing that's going to help us. And I always like to bring it back to, hey, what are the basics that are actually at the root cause of this issue? And that's simply just being willing to take high levels of responsibility with the foods that you are taking in. And I know we've kind of had this conversation already, which is a big thing in your life right now, of changing the way that you eat by being able to say no, by being able to say yes to certain things, and just having a better relationship with that, right? And I think that's going to help you a ton in building that habit of just eating more whole foods on a daily basis, on a meal by meal basis, and getting used to that. It's going to take time, but that's where proper gut health comes from, right? It's nothing fancy that we're going to have to do. You don't have to take, specific certain supplements or anything else. And as much as we don't like to hear it, it's legitimately just doing the healthy things over and over and over again until we've gotten our body back to a place where it's functioning well. So that's going to start with working on the foods that we take in, which we're already doing right now. Sleep is a big one, as well as stress reduction. Because if you're highly stressed, okay, and you're eating while you're highly stressed, or even just when you're not eating and you're highly stressed in general, your body cannot digest food as well. It can't absorb nutrients as well, because your body's in a heightened state. Okay, so think of it like this. Way back when we would fight off bears or whatever, fight off animals, our body viewed that animal as a source of stress. It was like, okay, this is a danger to me. This is something that I need to go and fight off. Otherwise, I'm literally going to die. When we're doing that, okay, when our body perceives a threat, when it is stressed out, the energy in our body instantly goes towards fighting that off. Our nervous system is completely fucked and heightened. And what's the last thing that we're thinking about doing while we're doing that? Finding food, eating food, digesting food. Our energy wants to go towards sustaining that stress, sustaining that heightened nervous system. And so that digestion really gets disrupted. This is why people who are highly stressed are always super bloated. When they are highly stressed, their hormones are working and functioning in a different way than they would if they were not highly stressed. So these are things that we want to start looking at and working on and kind of doing the deeper inner work, because it really does reflect in things like gut health, things like hormones. And if we want to be talking about that level of stuff, which most people never get to because they're so focused on, creating an external result, if we want to talk about that stuff, we also want to talk about that inner work, that deeper stuff that we're going to have to start doing, which again is that talk about stress, the talk about being able to say no to certain things, the talk about, those pattern interruptions that you want to make better food choices in your workday. Physical and mental health are really on point, so energy is high. It's really good to see. I think when you have a little bit more of like a sense of purpose in your life through personal development, we feel so much better. And that's what I always tell people, like if you're ever feeling lost, if you're ever feeling like you're demotivated or anything like that, always ask yourself, have I been committed to personal development? Have I been committed to self-mastery? Have I been committed to becoming the best version of me? And really just focusing on that instead of focusing on everything else. Because when you can have that be your source and you have that intention when you wake up every morning, your level of gratitude for life is way higher. Your energy in general, the frequency at which you're operating on is way higher, right? You're operating in gratitude, love, appreciation, not stress, fear, anxiety. It's an entirely different feeling when you're focused on developing yourself. So take this time, really solidify some things, because once that ramps up again, our goal for you is to be able to handle a level of stress that isn't overwhelming. And it's going to require you to go through seasons of ups and downs with the stress levels, with the demands. So once the demands come back up, perfect. Now we get an experience, we get an opportunity to take what you just learned over the last 2 weeks and the habits you built and practice that in the higher levels of stress. Okay, so stress isn't necessarily always a bad thing. Sometimes it's just an opportunity to show up in a different way and integrate some of those habits and those routines that you've built. Hungry immediately when I wake up and throughout the day. Okay, so we are experiencing some hunger levels. This is great. Right now you are hovering around the same weight, if not actually a little bit higher than where you started. So I actually don't want to increase calories just yet. I want to watch how your body continues to level out over the next maybe week or so, because if we increase weight if we increase food too quickly, that's where you gain body fat. It's really not necessary. I'm not huge on, if someone wants to be in a bulk, I honestly don't see a need to be, plus 500, 600, 700 calories above maintenance. Right now for me, I'm only like 250 calories above maintenance, and I've been slowly, steadily increasing my body weight through muscle growth without putting on a bunch of extra body fat that's just really unnecessary. It doesn't speed up the process of muscle gain any faster by putting on more body fat, so we kind of just keep it in that moderate place. And right now I think you're probably roughly right around maintenance, if not slightly above. So we're going to keep it here. If we see that your hunger levels continuously keep improving and you're like, yeah, you know what, I can probably eat more, then great. But right now, another thing to add to this is that you don't want to go and increase your calories if you have not yet improved your eating quality, your food quality. So if you're hungry when you wake up and throughout the day, we can look at, well, what are your food sources? Because if you're eating highly processed foods, if you're eating quick digested carbs all throughout the day and you're spiking your blood sugar up and down all the time, you're going to constantly get hunger signals. You're always going to feel hungry. If you're eating more satiating whole foods that last, they're full of nutrients, guess what? You're not going to be as hungry throughout the day. You're going to be able to sustain at that amount. And then if you clean up your eating, right, you clean up your food sources, you eat that for a couple weeks, and then you're still even more hungry, fantastic. That's where I would want to increase the food. So you want to set the basis first, set the foundation first before we move in any direction too quickly. Depending on like the meat sources, the vegetable sources, sometimes they have shit in them that you don't necessarily want to be eating. That's personally why I do believe in eating organic. I do believe in eating grass-fed and all that kind of stuff. So that's just me, and I think that is one thing that we can chat on when it comes to gut health. Wins this week, outdoor walks every day, and even went to gym on days off to work on mobility. I fucking love that so much. I feel like you're in a season right now where you're just like committed to your health, and that feels good because like you want to go. You want to be there, you want to show up, even on the days where you have a rest day, you're like, yeah, I want to get to the gym. Like, that's so cool, and I think it's a really fun place to be. Take advantage of that season. Sometimes we like to overcomplicate shit so that we don't have to do it. What I like to do when I'm building a meal is choose a protein. So that's going to be anything from like ground beef, steak, some type of fish, chicken, right? Different types of chicken, bison. Then I'll probably choose some source of carb that's slower digesting. So maybe it's like a sweet potato, sometimes rice. I don't like to overeat rice. Yellow potatoes, like that's the kind of thing that I'm looking for. I also very much eat animal based, so I like to eat a lot of fruit as well. So, you know, fruit, meat, vegetables, like that's basically it. You know, a little bit of dairy here and there, like good quality dairy. And a lot of the times it's just gonna be building the meal around the protein source. Something I feel I can improve on this week, pushing myself to failure and not stopping before. So this takes practice. I'm excited to see you do this. I definitely want to see lots of videos in this failure week. You know, obviously failure can very quickly happen psychologically, and we're gonna watch how that happens for you. You know, are you truly pushing the muscle itself to failure with good form, with good technique, or, you know, do you have a little bit more in the tank? Today, it's Friday, we're just doing a little bit of work. Lower body session later, gonna do a bit of cardio and then my knee rehab at the gym as well. Yesterday, did client check-ins. And so yesterday after I was done filming client check-ins, I went on a little bit of a shopping spree, just a little mini one, because I wanna overhaul my entire wardrobe. Shit that's in my closet right now is pissing me off. So first thing is I got this shirt from Aerie. I absolutely love it. I also bought these shorts. This is more like beachy vibes because we are going on a trip in September, so I wanted something I could just kind of throw on, wear to the beach. And yes, I got another pair of sweat shorts, but these are the absolute comfiest, and I have like no comfortable shorts. It's either I'm wearing gym shorts, like soccer shorts from college, or jean shorts, and we all know jean shorts are the most fucking uncomfortable thing. So I needed an in-between. I got some sweat shorts. These are the most comfortable short I have ever worn in my life. If you don't shop at Aerie, I highly recommend. This is like my first time ever really buying from there. I used to buy a lot from American Eagle when I was like younger. But yeah, these are the offline short. I think they also make a sweatpant in these as well, but just the material is unbelievable. I can't even explain it. It's like, you just have to try it. It's the most comfortable short you will ever wear. Then I did get another pair of jean shorts because I only have like one pair that fit me currently. These are the mom short. I don't know what the fuck that means, but yeah, not bad. And then I got another long sleeve that's more like, kind of same vibe as this, like oversized, drapes over the shoulders, waffle knit. It does have like a little bit of a crop, which I never wear crop shirts ever. So if I'm gonna wear something that's cropped, it's gonna be like very minimal, and it definitely has to meet my pant line, otherwise it's just super uncomfortable. That was a little mini haul, and then I'm actually gonna put in a whole nother order. I've got like 2 t-shirts, a tank top, and a pair of jeans that I'm gonna be getting. So yeah, that's a little haul. All right, there's a possibility that this video might not even have a workout in it, but I wanna chat on a very popular topic right now, my thoughts on it, and that is hybrid training. If you saw my last vlog, you saw that in the thumbnail I said hybrid training, kind of like making fun of it in a way, but you know, I do think that it's valuable for some people, and I want to clarify why I did that and what my thoughts are around the topic. Hybrid training is something that has blown up over the last, I would say, 6 months, and it's gained so much popularity because I feel that people are seeking a form of fitness outside of just lifting. The reason for that is because they want to feel healthy, they want to feel good, and they don't just want to push weight in the gym but not feel healthy. And so I think that's amazing, but I also feel like a lot of people are doing it for the wrong reasons because they are following trends, believing that that's what's going to get them results, not actually knowing the deeper reasoning why a lot of the influencers and coaches are doing it. So hybrid training is something that is not going to get you amazing results. Okay, can it get you results and make your physique change? Absolutely. If you're going to do something different than what you are currently doing, it's going to create some sort of a physical change. But if you're after an aesthetic looking physique, you want to have muscle definition, you want to have shape, you don't just want to be, you know, super skinny and lanky with no shape whatsoever, that's going to require the more bodybuilding approach. And the reason I say that is because most people have not yet built enough muscle tissue to look the way that these hybrid athletes are looking. So if you are after a pursuit of a better looking physique right now, putting your time into more bodybuilder approach where, you know, you're tracking your food, you're hitting your macros, you're also eating healthy, you're lifting and prioritizing hypertrophy training in the gym, that's where the most effort should be going. Adding in hybrid training where you are running, you're doing all these other different activities on top of that probably isn't the best for you right now if you are not someone who has built a lifestyle that can handle that amount of physical stress. Your body, if you have not yet put in the work, probably actually needs to tone back on the amount of activity that you're doing. If you're someone who is running, you know, maybe you do some sort of combat sport, maybe you are also lifting in the gym, doing some sort of HIIT training,
A lot of people are doing way too much. Once you have built some muscle tissue, your maintenance calories increase because you have more muscle tissue on your body. You have built lifestyle habits that can support these things. Hybrid training is not a trend to follow if you want to transform your physique in a very specific way. If you're looking to lose weight, if you're looking to build muscle and achieve, again, a visual transformation where you look different photo to photo, it's going to come from a more specific bodybuilder style approach where, again, you're either in a calorie deficit, maybe a slight surplus, maintenance calories, and you're training for hypertrophy in the gym. And I guess the biggest reason why I'm putting this out there is because you will see me doing different things. Okay, you will see me prioritizing different forms of fitness and health in my life right now. And the reason I'm able to do that is because I put in years and years and years of time doing the other approach. So I'm not changing anything that I'm doing. I'm still going to the gym. I'm still doing the hypertrophy, but I'm adding to the skill set that I already have in my fitness. And so if you are not someone who has yet established the first bit, the foundation, then you shouldn't be adding on all of this extra stuff. And I really feel like not a lot of people are being honest about that because they're simply just unaware. They're doing the hybrid training without having done the groundwork first. And so they're promoting it, but what they're not realizing is that they actually haven't done the core work in their nutrition and their training, and they're just kind of following trends and jumping from thing to thing. And you know, this has become more obvious to me over the years because I've been able to see, for lack of a better way to say it, I've just seen that people are kind of full of shit. And the only reason I was able to see that is because I used to be full of shit. You know, I never used to hold myself to as high of a standard, and you know, my lifestyle wasn't actually at the level that I thought it was, meaning that, you know, my food intake was inconsistent. You know, my quality of foods just wasn't there. My overall health was basically in the shitter. While yes, I looked good, you know, I didn't look that great and I didn't feel great either. And so I can see, you know, when people jump from trend to trend, especially influencers, I can usually point out the shit. I can point out, you know, when people aren't actually living it, and so they jump from thing to thing to never really commit, you know, to one long-term process and creating a lifelong transformation and change in their lifestyle at the core. And so this might be a massively unpopular opinion, but I'm just going to call it as it is. I think hybrid training or athletic-based training is something that you earn after creating your initial transformation, building a lifestyle that can sustain your current physique. And that takes work, that takes skill development, that takes tracking your macros for a long period of time, getting really good at it, knowing how to handle vacations, knowing how to handle life changes, and yet still being somewhat committed to your fitness goals throughout that time. Not this sporadic, you know, on and off commitment, this chase something new every month. It's committing to your goals for the long term and taking a little bit more of a calm approach rather than emotionally charged, making emotional decisions type of approach. So yes, hybrid training is fantastic. It's great for you. You know, if you want to get in better cardio shape, if you want to get in better, you know, mobility or add some sort of other skill to your fitness, that's great. But again, if you are someone who wants to change your physique at the foundational level and build a lifestyle that can support that change and support that physique long term, again, it's going to come from the basics that you've seen everyone do at a high level for multiple years. And here's one big point that I want to make. If you see hybrid athletes that look incredible, that you love their physique, and you're like, I want that physique, I'm going to do what they do, understand that they probably built that physique from years of bodybuilding training, building up muscle tissue, tracking their food. They have earned the place that they are in. And so when they go into the hybrid training, you might say, oh, they look really good. But what you don't know is what they did for the years prior to that. It's really easy to get misled in the fitness space because there's always trends, there's always new things, there's always, you know, do things this way, do things that way. And people hop on and they run with it. But just remember to come back to the basics of what really creates a transformation, because that's what's going to take you long term. And again, creating a lifestyle change that supports the physique that you want to maintain or build on for years to come. So I'm sure I'll talk on this more, but for now, I'll leave it at that. If you have any questions about that or questions about hybrid training versus hypertrophy, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything like that, drop it in the comments below.